guys, I'm Kevin from Moonlight Mantids. How's it going? It's been a little while since we've done this, but I'm going to go ahead and do a really quick Q&A. Basically, Q&As, I just take questions you guys send me from usually the YouTube comments. I'm going to say your name if you put your question on there, if I can pronounce it, if it's, you know, not a bunch of numbers or whatever. But this is where I answer your guys' questions. If maybe I didn't answer it in some of the other videos I had, or if you just, you know, need to hear it again. I'll be like the lights here. I don't know. I just picked different colored lights. I don't know why. I just some of them were already like the grow lights, and then like the red heat lights were in there. So I just was like, well, shit. I might as well grab a few other colors here. I hope you like it. It's kind of colorful, kind of cool. Then I got the planet tanks behind me here that I built myself. We put some of the Mantids in there sometimes. Maybe I'll show you one, because I keep some Majescula, Hirudula Majescula in there, the giant Asian rainforest. And they kind of like it humid and sort of tropical with the plants, which Mantids make really great vivarium pets, by the way. So if you have a Viv, it might be a cool idea to grab a Mantis for them, which was one of the questions, why I brought it up. Anyway, so I take the questions from Facebook or YouTube, and I just I print them out here, and then I read them for you, give you the best answer I can possibly give you. I hope you guys enjoy them. You usually do. So Aaron Mays says, do you have a separate collection of your own personal favorite not for sale Mantids? Everyone asks that. They're like, what are you keeping there at the shop that nobody knows you have, that you keep for yourself? And to be honest, it's true. I have about 60 species total that I keep just for myself. And they range from, I don't know, probably 10 species from the genus Rhombodera, at least 8 or 9 species from the genus Hirudula, and the same thing for Mantis, which are the giant African. The Hirudula are the giant Asian type Mantids, and the Rhombodera are definitely the shield type Mantids. So we keep most of them. We call them greenie species. It's just slang that we use. Basically, fairly common, regular looking. In most cases, not all of the members, of course, within that genus are relatively the same. But they're still considered what we call greenies, and that's usually what breeders kind of call them in talking and stuff. And anyway, mostly anything other than that I would consider really fancy or exotic, and that's my banded flowers, my jeweled flowers, my Parsipenis, which Creobrator are a genus of flower type Mantids, and we have the Gamantis, the Parsipenis. There's also the Pictopenis. I mean, there's a few others there. The banded flower is not part of that. It's part of a different genus. Those are some of my favorite. We do have the Truncata deadleaves, which are the hooded deadleaf Mantids. They're really, really cool. I have some pinned ones here, and then I have some subs somewhere in the shelves up here. There's a lot of them to go through, and we might go through them here in the end just to look at some of the stuff. Maybe give you a brand new shop tour, because we did redo the shop. So it's very different in here from the last tour that we gave. Anyway, yeah, I do have a separate collection other than what's usually posted or shared. When we get to a certain place where they're stable in captivity, they're stable in the hobby, breeders have them, then I start to really share them more than just the greenie species that we keep. And that's just if I were to post that I had anything at all, like thistles or devil flowers or any of those special spiny flowers. It's really only we sell just a small amount of excess of those. Some of those aren't really that stable in captivity yet, so it's important that we kind of keep it to ourselves. But yeah, there's a pretty decent collection, which maybe I'll make a Kevin's collection video. Good idea. Good question, Aaron. Anyway, Ben Meldrin said, "Hi mate, I have a twig and also a Madagascarian marbled mantis. The marbled one is female, I think, and is past her last shed. I'm still a novice, he's not sure. Her wings are past the abdomen. Yeah, if it has wings, it's an adult. Do you think that'll be correct?" Oh, he's asking me if I think it's a female because the wings are past the abdomen. That usually indicates that it's a male, but that's not always true. So the best thing to do is to go ahead and count the segments. Remember, there's 6 segments for a female and 8 for a male. Alright, good question though. Thanks, Ben. Lady Canna 55, hello, your videos rock, and I love how informative they are. I love Mantids, and I'm seriously thinking about getting my first Mantis. But first I wanted to do some research. Are there any books you would recommend? There is a book I would recommend, and I'm going to have to grab it, and I'm going to have to cut and then show you what it is. It's a really awesome book. It's kind of scientific. It's really advanced. Keeping Aliens by Orrin McGonigal is a good book. It's really good for just kind of raising and stuff. It's a pretty decent book. So if you hop on Amazon, Keeping Aliens, it's a praying mantis sort of hobbyist sort of care book. That is where you would want to start. But there's another one that I definitely recommend. I'm not even sure if it's in print anymore, but you might find it on Amazon. How about for my first mantis? Oh, you want to recommend first mantis? Any greenie species. That's Rhombodera, Hiradula, or Sifidro, like I mentioned earlier. Those are great beginners. And so basically giant African, giant Asian, or shields. And would there be a problem if the enclosure was too big? I have a 10-gallon aquarium, and I'm thinking about converting it into a mantis enclosure. Yeah, that's usually a problem. As a small nymph, you really want to raise these things in, say, like a 16 or 32-ounce cup, just because you don't want them to have to chase down like the fruit flies that are really small, bouncy. The Turkish gliders can kind of glide a little bit. In a 10-gallon tank, I think it would just be too difficult, and they dispense way too much energy. You want to raise them up as big as you can, as fast as you can, in order to make sure that that you can put them into a larger enclosure. When they're bigger, like I mentioned earlier, you can put them in a planted tank or a 10-gallon. I would say the best time to do that is at their final molt. So when they're an adult, it's a good time to do that. Otherwise, if you have like a sub or a larger mantis, and a 32-ounce just isn't going to cut it. I don't know if I've shown you guys these in the past, but I'll grab one. These are the mantis net cubes. They're sort of like this fine netting, and they don't hold humidity by any means, but you can mist them through this and they'll drink the droplets. You can, there's a zipper here, really fancy zipper, so you can go in here and kind of check them out. Oh wow. So this budwing this is a female budwing in here, and like I said, she was getting a little too big for her 32-ounce cup, and I just wanted to make sure she would have a good shed. This on almost all sides except for the viewing window, which is clear, which is great for, I usually use it as a bottom because you can wipe it down. There's like a clear part here, but nearly all of this is completely netted, so it makes a great enclosure that's literally entirely a shedding surface, and this is really what you want for the final molt. After this, when they become adults, like this budwing here, which I'll show you, after they become an adult, it's really great. You can move them into a 10 then, but please raise them in something smaller, and then right towards the end here, something like this, depending on the size of the mantis. Let's see, I'll show you that shed. Final molt, L7 for a female, and now she is an adult. Let me pull her out. Oh, maybe you can see her here. She's probably still drying. I'm gonna angle this funny. There she is. Nice large adult female budwing mantis. Parasiphindale aragonii, I think it's called. The Parasiphindale are a great starter species as well. They are pretty gentle, pretty docile. Not that any of them are really wild at all, but let me pull her out to show you. The males are really spindly, but the girls are pretty big. I got a female, it's already like a year and a half old, and she just laying ooth after ooth. And in fact, while I'm talking about it, that female's babies, one of the ooth, are hatching right now. A couple of scouts. And you remember in my past videos I've told you what scouts are. Basically the first few that hatch out of an ooth. So here is my second Parasiphindale aragonii female. Kind of skinny, she's going to have to eat. She just shed. Full grown adults. You see the straight part there with the green and the white? Those are her wing butts. They do not go past her abdomen, but these are aptly named budwings. Some females can reach past the abdomen, so it really just depends. These make really great pets. So Parasiphindale or Poposperca, which are the twig mantids, the really arid sort of common species, those are great beginners too. But for the final molt, because they're a bit bigger as adults, the females, I move them into those net cubes. You can usually find them on my website. Otherwise, you can check Amazon. You might find them there. I'll make sure to restock some, hopefully really soon. And they're just a really great item for mantids. Towards the end there, you can keep adults in there. They lay ooth in there, and you can peel the ooth right off of that netting there, usually without cutting or ruining the netting at all. Just make sure they're dry first. But moving them into a tank or whatever else you want to do is fine once they're an adult. You just got to be careful about the shedding surfaces you provide for your mantids, because it can kill them when they miss smolts, and there's no fixing it, and it's really unfortunate. So great question. Next one, Robert Nunley. My giant shield mantis grow these big wings, and the next day it died. Is that normal? Just a typo. But no, it's not normal. She must have did an adult, her final molt, and became an adult because she got her wings, right? And she must have died. There could have been complications, something unforeseen. It takes a massive amount of energy for them to go from one molt to the next. It's a lot of energy preparing for it. Even if they do it successfully, it can still take too much out of them, and it can still kill them. It's just really exhausting, and that can make them weak, and they can sometimes just die, unfortunately. And that it's not normal, no, but it can happen. It happens once in a while. Even though they didn't fall or miss molt, they are still very weak afterwards. So it's important to keep them well hydrated before, and of course right after. A lot of water, a lot of food as soon as you can. Here it is. C.S. asks, hi Kevin, I have 4 Carolina Mantids, 2 L5s and 2 L4s that came from the same ootheca. Would it be okay to breed them still, or would it be better to get another Carolina Mantis from another ooth? It's always better if you have the option to not inbreed. There's naturally ootheca hatch out in the wild. What'll happen is females shed 2 more times than males. Okay, now the males only last a couple of weeks or a couple months, versus the females can last up to 6 months in captivity anyway. But the reason the females take longer is because they're bigger. They have to grow larger, and the males are smaller. There's another reason for that, and it happens to work out. It's to prevent the sisters and brothers from the same ooth from mating. So you see, you'll get a female mantis, and by the time she is an L6 male that hatched at the same time from the same ooth, the male will be an adult at L6, whereas the female has 2 more sheds to go. Now that can take up to a month or 2 before she can become an adult. And he'll be long dead before then, because he might have gotten consumed, predation, just natural old age, could have mated and then been consumed, or whatever happened to him. But usually, naturally, they never meet. So you can always cool down your males and heat up your females, and yes, you can inbreed them. But it's important that if you're going to work with a species for more than one cycle, you know, to add in bloodlines as soon as you can. Make sure that if you're dispersing them, you're letting the people know, hey, I bred brother and sister. You know, these need fresh genetics, because what'll happen is the more you inbreed, the weaker the bloodline gets. So after 2, maybe 3 times, you'll get what's called a mass die-off, or an initial die-off, which will normally be about 10%, 5 or 10% from the initial hatch that don't make it to the L2 stage, from L1 to L2. As you inbreed more, you know, say 2 or 3 times with the same exact bloodline, siblings and all that, what'll happen is that initial die-off will go from 5 or 10% to 30 to 50 or worse. So, and the thing is too, they're genetically weaker, which means that usually you can't even raise them to adult. You know what I mean? So the final stage where you mate them can be more and more difficult, and you're just going to dispense a lot of energy raising animals that are genetically weaker. It's important that if it's totally fine to inbreed once or even twice. 2 or 3, the 3rd or 4th time, you're really going to see some problems. So you want to add new bloodlines as soon as you can, if it's available to you to do so. But don't let that discourage you from keeping certain species going in captivity. It's important to do your best and try regardless. But the first thing inbreeding affects when it comes to inbreeding even insects, animals, whatever it is the first thing it affects is reproduction, which is, you know, your initial die-off. You want a bloodline that's diverse, which means they have a lot of adaptations for survival, versus stacking up bad genes on top of bad genes on top of bad genes. when you have your siblings mate and stuff. It cleans the blood and cleans the genetics when you inbreed and then or when you outbreed. So you want to inbreed. If you inbreed, you want to outbreed the next time if you can. If not, the time after that. So inbreed, inbreed, outbreed, inbreed, inbreed, outbreed will be fine. But you really want to inbreed, outbreed, inbreed, outbreed if you can. And being that it takes about a year and a half to complete 2 cycles, that there's plenty of time to kind of track down more individuals of the same species, hopefully from a different source. You just do the best you can. But great question. Yeah, that was a great question from all you guys so far. Let's see. Lupus Corpus asked, a wild mantis nymph flew to my hand, and I would like to keep it, but I don't know what kind of mantis it is. Excuse me. Mantis it is. Can someone help me? Yeah, if you give me your location, like you tell me what state, what county you're in, if you're in the United States, I could definitely do my best to identify them. There are 14 native species of praying mantis here in North America in the United States. I have specimens of all 14, and part of what I like to do and what I study is taxonomy. Mostly I'm trying to produce dichotomous keys, which are keys used for identification that don't currently exist. So hopefully I have some of those published. They won't be readily available. They're more like scientific keys. But anytime you guys need some identification help, go ahead and send me pictures. Tell me where you're at, and I can usually narrow it down for you to the best to my ability. Yeah, I can definitely always help with that. Just send me the pics if you can. This is going to be a little, kind of a long video. I got a lot of great questions, but I better stop and do another one here. Kind of break these up at least. Sorry, excuse me. So they're not super long, which has been my problem because there's just a lot of information. There's a lot of questions. People need a lot of help doing this. Those were really great. I don't know if you saw our brand new intro. I hope you guys like it. I'm going to do a lot more videos just like this one, kind of basic. I am going to take you guys out when we go to the NARBC this next year, as well as some of the other things that I have planned. Hopefully they work out. Keep asking those questions. Keep working with Mantids. Keep loving Mantids. I'm super stoked to work with you guys, to help you guys do this, and I'm really grateful for the responses we've had. Of course, if you need some supplies, you can check out our website and some of the other really great websites that are around nowadays. Which, I mean, the hobby's growing. There's definitely people are definitely doing a good job, and I just want to commend them for that, and the fans and the hobbyists as well. I will go ahead and do an art contest winner. I'm not sure if I'm going to attach it to this video or not. I think I can find one of them. I had a couple picked out. Hold on, stay right there. I'm going to keep recording and find it. Alright, 2 seconds. Alright guys, I found a really good one here. I hope you guys like it. It's from Juan. He lives in Sinaloa, Mexico. He says he has 4 ghost mantids and an unidentified green one, common looking one he said he found at his school. He said the people are killing them out here because they really don't know what they are and they think they're dangerous. So people in Sinaloa, Mexico apparently are killing mantids just because they're scared of them and they think they're a threat. I'm going to remind you guys, and I don't think I need to, mantids are completely harmless. Completely harmless. It could, even if they tried to pinch or grab you, couldn't even break the skin. It's nearly impossible. If it happens, you're dealing with a really large, really exotic species, and you're probably not someone who's going to find them outside. And to be honest, it's never even happened to me. I have these large species. I've never ever been pinched or poked or bit or anything like that. They just don't act like that. It's really strange to think they're dangerous. They're not venomous. Literally, if they got eaten by other animals, they're not poisonous. There's absolutely nothing wrong. They're completely harmless animals. Please don't be scared of them. Please don't step on them, people in Sinaloa. Anyway, he wanted to participate in the drawing. He did a really great job. I got one from Australia, I think last week or something. I'm gonna have to show you guys that one too. But he's thanking us for our videos and everything we do, and I will show you his drawing. It's really cool. That's unfortunate. I've never heard of that before. People killing mantids because they're they're scared and they don't know what they are. So hopefully you're educating your fellow classmates and the people in your area that they're not dangerous, and please don't squash them because they're really important for the ecosystem. So here we go. There you go. He drew that. Can you believe that? It's a ghost mantis. This kid is talented. I'm gonna get another close-up here. That was just... Man, he does a really good job. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and frame this one along with some of the other great art contest entries that I get. I'm really sorry about not having more videos done. I have a lot going on in my personal life, family and all that. And also we're really busy here in the shop. A lot of growth, a lot of remodeling, building, constructing, I'm expanding. And also working with a lot more species nowadays. I do finally have some really, really great help. They're really reliable and they're doing a good job. Thanks, you guys. You're the ones that are making all this possible, and I can go back to doing YouTube on a more regular basis. Thank you again, Juan. I'm going to be sending you some really cool supplies to help you with your mantids. Because you're in Mexico, I can't send you anything alive, though, unfortunately. But I will be sending you tons of supplies. That's a really beautiful drawing. Thank you for doing what you do for mantids out there. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Go ahead and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. And, well, I guess that's it. We'll talk to you later. Bye.